I think the reason this hockey game was so important was not, well, partly because we beat the Soviet Union, which were our enemies, but also we didn't have anything to feel good about right then.
Yeah.
We had a gasoline shortage. Home loan interest rates were 15 to 20%. And,
Yeah, we had hostages in Iran.
yeah.
Had the Soviets in Afghanistan.
I tell the tour people, you ought to always remember that we would have had more hostages in Iran if we hadn't had good friends to the north who took some of our embassy into their embassy, the Canadians. But, yeah, we didn't have anything to feel good about. And nobody said, gosh, didn't those college kids do a nice job against the best team in the world? I don't care if you're from Louisiana and didn't even know what a hockey stick looked like. You said what everybody else said. We beat the Russians. It was a pick-me-up for the whole country.
Yep.
And you know, the Soviets may have been just a little overconfident. They beat them. They beat the U.S. 10-3 just 13 days before that hockey game.
Madison Square Garden.
And 10-3, for people who don't know much about hockey, is about like a 100-58 basketball game. It's that much of a runaway.
Yep.
They may have been just a tad overconfident because they certainly didn't have much competition in the build-up to that game. They scored 51 goals in 6 games. The first head of the organizing committee, and he was the head of all the bid activity, was a fellow by the name of Ron McKenzie, who was the retired postmaster of Lake Placid. The thing we don't make a fuss about was he also designed Mount Van Hovenberg cross-country ski trails, did most of the design for Whiteface Mountain Ski Center.
And you still got the mail delivered on time.
And he still got the mail delivered on
That's
time.
pretty impressive.
The guy who did our visuals for our bids was Doc Madden, the local dentist. The guy who succeeded Ron McKenzie when he died in '79 was Bernie Fell, who came home from World War II to become a Lake Placid village policeman, who was shot in the line of duty in '54, got thinking about life, and became a Methodist minister. The man who put together the environmental community and probably saved our possibility of hosting an Olympics was Vern Lamb, who ran the local lumber yard. I mean, they were pretty ordinary people. I think that's almost what they call grassroots. This isn't a big town, but I would be willing to bet when we arrived here in '61 that about 40% of the adult population was volunteering, and most of it in some sports way. My wife and I volunteered at the ski jumps for 35 years. And it was part of the culture of this community. The other culture, of course, is sports itself. First gold medal in the Winter Games, won by a man from Lake Placid. There's never been a U.S. Winter Olympic team without someone from within 10 miles of Lake Placid.